tuned into the...
Larry, we are in the place the folks here call the Jungle, and that's Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals. They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Again, here's Bernard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Cincinnati first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough, spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a first carry for their fullback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. And his kick is good. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, it's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
They'll set up a throw. It's brought in by Floyd. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 40. Two-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Mettenberger, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
Now Mettenberger. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. On now is the big leg of Greg Zuerlein. He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Garrett Swanson now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. The Bengals bring pressure, and it's blocked. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Partners as you well know, every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
On second down, Johnson across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that's the word from the referee. Neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
They come up in an offset eye. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And an alley to run. A big run there by Johnson. 46 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
They'll run again with Bernard. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it didn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a little jumpy there. Defensively, ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down to the offense, needing 5 yards. One receiver right, that's Brown. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now back to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The middle of the field, he's got Nelson. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now Mettenberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. His pass caught at the 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, the the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, and it's 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention on the Cardinals defense now. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the 1st down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse, still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Aguilar has it. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down here to the tight end.
So now it's 1st and goal. Now a carry for Bernard. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bengals defense gearing up as they take the field. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
He'll look to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. 14 yards that time for number 14.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Now back to throw. He hits Floyd on the right. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 5 at the 4. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be?
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Here's Mettenberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Muscles him off. And a nifty little deke juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They'll set up to throw. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Mettenberger, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On play action, they'll throw. That is caught at the 7. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
They're not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Their big tight end, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Still 3rd down.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the way that he ran last week has not been duplicated here. What gives, Charles?
I don't know. Maybe it was the big meal he took him for after the game last week. I don't know. Being a little bit facetious here, but I do know that after last week's game, the coaching staff awarded game balls to every starting offensive lineman. They're not playing to the same level this week. I don't know if they're seeing different things on defense that have really fouled things up in their blocking scheme, or if they're just not as sharp. Because right now, he's not finding the creases, can't find the gaps to get through and get upfield.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6. Throw here. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Garrett Swanson now. And remember, he had his first punt blocked. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards still left on 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Here's Mettenberger. On the right side, caught by Green. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. And caught. Right side. Green. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Cardinals. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friends.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
Back to throw now on first down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And quite the turnaround here. These numbers tell the story game to game. And what did he tell us before the game?
Well, he told us that he was going to be on point today. That last week was gone. Wasn't too worried about it. I was also judging his demeanor a little bit. So it's one thing to say it, but he certainly looked like he was locked in and ready to go for this one. What'd you think?
Absolutely. Had a face of stone. He said he was going to be ready, and that has proved to be the case. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He'll drop to throw, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding time. All kinds of time. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Cardinals. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. So here's a big play for the Cardinals as they'll go for 2. So they fought half. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
17, guys. Check him out.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Here's Mettenberger. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they've picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now. No,
you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Underneath for Johnson. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hauling it in, Nelson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup. And that'll be good for an Arizona first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded. And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
He's back to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Give him 6 on the play. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down. And that'll bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
Back to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up. Here's Mettenberger. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Mettenberger. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Let's go. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cards, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.